As you know, the Baker Theater is always doing a bunch of cool stuff. We sat down with Baker Theater director Eric Beck to discuss the 24-hour play contest. That's where they write from scratch a play, direct it, and then present it, 24-hour period. And on top of that, local filmmaker Brandon Gray directed a short film about it, and in the style of the late David Lynch. So, Eric, thanks so much for coming by and taking time to talk to us about what's been happening. This is a Baker Theater contest, is that right?
That's correct. Yes, it's a 24-hour play festival, it's called. And the idea is that a play is created and performed within a 24-hour period. And that includes the writing, the acting, the directing, the tech, all that sort of stuff. What happens is at about 7 o'clock at night, on Friday night, the teams are chosen. And basically that means what happens is people sign up. The people sign up to be a director or an actor or a writer. And then whoever's organizing the contest chooses who's going to be which. And then at 7 o'clock on Friday evening, we put all the names in a hat and we pulled them out. And so we assigned to the teams. So we knew who the writer was going to be and who the director was going to be and who the actors were going to be. So that the writers could know who they were writing for. They knew who the 4 or 5 people that they could write for. So they had a little idea of who they were, what they looked like, their physicality and their personality a little bit. And then at about 7:30 or 8, the writers started writing. They wrote overnight. They sent the scripts to me by 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, I printed them out. A little while later, the directors and actors arrived. They started blocking the shows. They started rehearsing the shows. And then they did that pretty much all morning. And then in the afternoon, they got to do tech stuff. They got to incorporate lights and sound and all that sort of stuff and doing the scene changes. Each play is about 15 minutes or so.
How many are there?
This year we did 7 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah. That's crazy. So it was like I think it worked out so they all the adult ones had 4 actors and a director and a writer. So there's like 6 people basically put these things together.
Yeah.
This year we did a special thing. We introduced a kids element to the show. We had a play that was written by a kid I think he's 10 or 11. And then we had a director who directed it. He's a 9-year-old. And then there were 6 or 7 kids that were actors that were around 10 to 12 years old. And it was really cool. Their energy is amazing. And to see a 9-year-old directing a bunch of other kids was incredible.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. My son's about to turn 8, and I can't imagine him directing
And the
show.
The cool thing was that the director had the idea. All the actors were like responsive to him. Nobody was like, no, we're not going to do that. They were like, listen to him. They would ask him questions. They would say, what if we do this? What do we know we do that? But they all just like worked together and made it happen, and without any sort of conflict or anything. It was really cool.
How fantastic! Yeah. And this has been going on a while.
This is the 5th year we've done it, I think.
Okay.
But it's a thing that's actually I didn't know about it until about 6 or 7 years ago. It's a thing that a lot of theaters are doing, I think, more and more across the country. It's an idea. I can't remember. I don't even know where it started. I'm not sure anybody knows actually where the idea started. But yeah, more and more people are doing it. It's where it really is. It's really just for the actors and the directors. It's not really. I mean, some people do come see it. We actually had a really good attendance. We had about 80 people there the other night, but it's mostly just almost kind of like a team building, theater building, people get together and create some theater in a day and then it's done. So it's like a really fast.
That's fast, but you can get that creative thing going where you have to make quick choices.
Yep.
And cut out the fat, tell the story.
Yes. That's the good thing about the 10 to 12 minute thing.
Yeah.
This is right in the point. Yep.
That's fantastic. I've heard people doing that with songs, but I know this has been happening for a while. How long has the Baker been doing it?
This is, I think the first one is 2021, so I guess it's our 5th year of doing it.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's fairly recent. And it happens once a year?
Happens once a year, yeah. We talked about doing another one or doing some similar sort of thing where the actors can get together and just have fun for a day and, create and maybe work with some new people that they haven't worked with before.
Are they pulling props out of the prop room?
Pulling
furniture?
Pulling furniture. We try to minimize that stuff a little bit just because the scene changes can get a lot. You could really big. Yeah, trying to do that. But we also want them to, create something that people are going to enjoy watching and that's visually interesting and that sort of thing. Yeah. Props, costumes, those sorts of things. Yeah, we use all that.
Is this something that's kind of open to the public?
Anybody can participate. Yep.
And you find out about it through the website?
The website or our social media is where we do a lot of our stuff these days. But yeah.
Okay.
We announced it a little bit late this year. It was about a month out. But we had, I guess it must have been 41 or 42 adults, and then I think the 12 kids, about 50 people doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this year, speaking of social media, you had someone came in and made sort of a David Lynch type of film, right?
Yes.
About the process,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Were they there the whole time, or they just came in and kind of did the plays? Or
Yeah.
can you talk a bit about that?
Again, Brandon Gray, who's a really good guy. He did some filming for us for Misery, that he did some promo stuff for us for Misery, and really liked. And it just so happened, I was thinking that morning that we hadn't arranged for a photographer, and Andrea, who was at the copy shop, and Brandon was there, and they started talking, and she told him what we were doing, and he was like, "That is so cool! I want to come." So it was like, it was like 10. I think he didn't get there about till 10:30 or something like that. But he set up. He was just filming all day long. He was kind of checking in with because all the groups are like sort of spread out rehearsing, and so he kind of checked in with them, and then created his video, which I think is like if you watch the video, you'll see you wouldn't really know where it is or what's going on, like who these people are, or anything like that, which I think is beautiful, because it was like he was creating his own sort of like 24-hour film festival or something like that.
Absolutely, it's become his own piece of art out of what they were.
What they were doing, yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would want to talk about with the Baker with this project before we jump off?
I think hopefully next year, we changed the format this year a little bit, because it used to be, the old format that we used was the writers wrote, and then after that they handed in their thing, then directors and actors were chosen. So it's really hard to write for, you don't really know, they'll tell you the number of people you're supposed to write for, but you don't really know the people, you don't really know the gender breakdown or the age breakdown or anything like that. So it makes it a little bit harder to if a lot of stuff has to be sort of general and not specific. So we figured if the people know the actors that they're writing for, then it's going to be a lot easier for them to craft a story that's more built towards their skills and the things that they do well. So yeah, that was a big change that we made this year. So, and I think it went really well. I think the plays were a little more focused than they had been in the past, and a little less. Some of the plays just used to get kind of silly, which is fun. It's fun to do silly. It's like a serious thing, but
yeah.
But I think the plays were a little better for that, for having had them knowing who the actors were, and even the directors too. I mean, there's a directing style that you can get used to as well. So yeah, next year I hope we'll announce a little earlier and maybe get some more people involved, because it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It sounds like it. Is there some sort of? It's not a contest, is it?
Not an early contest, no.
Yeah,
no.
but just kind of cool.
Yeah. It's just a festival.
It's just like
during the performance of it, the other teams sit out in the audience and everybody's being supportive of each other and cheering each other on and stuff. So yeah, it's cool.
That's fantastic. Well, Eric, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thanks.
I think we're going to take a look at this film that Brandon made. So
yeah, cool. Right on. Please do.
Dad, it's pretty extreme to take us out into the middle of the woods just to prove a point. That's north. No. That's north. Pretty extreme to take us out into the middle of the woods just to prove a point. Prickly pear cactus. I wonder what that tastes like. Oh, hey, honey.
Yeah, the boys are doing really well. They're getting the hang of this.
Oh, there's a lot of news about drones. That's what must be. It's drones.
Prickly pear cactus. I wonder what that tastes like. Sun rises in the west and sets in the east. I don't think that's right.
The world deserves to be wiped out.
Not sure what to do now.
Get to that.
One more song?
Oh!